What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be installing a new intake and a sound suppressor for the RS. I haven't seen anybody on YouTube make a video yet about installing the cowl intake for the RS, so maybe this is the first, I don't know, but we're going to be installing that and the sound suppression chamber so it stops that howling sound when you get on it. I went ahead and bought this 2J Racing Cowl Intake. I went ahead and bought a hydrophobic sock for the intake. It has this little breather tube for it and some hardware. I went ahead and got a new extension for this as well, just so I don't have to try to rig something up and make it a little longer. This is the cutout right here that I printed off on the website. So this is that little, I'll show you guys when I get out there. So this is where the intake's gonna go, right here in this cutout. This is the piece that you can remove, and it's a mesh piece. So it's pretty much just a cutout for it, so we know where to start cutting. And we have some stickers right here. But other than that, let's get to the install. All right, so before we can put a new intake in, this one's got to come out. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and start getting this cowl taken apart. Alright, so now to get full access to this cowl, we're gonna have to take these little caps off right here on the wipers and then take them off. Alright, so I have that mocked up. That's how it's going to sit. I'm going to go ahead and get the connector for this intake to the turbo, and then I'm going to go ahead and get the piece that connects to this right here and get the gray tube hooked up to that. Alright, so we have that sensor installed. You can go ahead and put this on now. When you mount this, make sure you can put it in a position where you can reach it in the car. Alright, so we have the intake in, hooked up to the boot. I went ahead and put the filter and the wet sock under the cowl. It wouldn't fit on the intake, trying to put it all in at once, so I put that in there first. So what I'm going to do now is push over here and get this back on the front of the intake. Alright, so I'm going to put the screw right in here to hold this intake in place, just so when I'm screwing it down in here, nothing moves or shifts around. You also want to make sure you have this intake hovering over the bottom of this cowl. I know we have a hydrophobic sock on it, but just in case water does get in here, we want to make sure it doesn't get sucked up in the filter. Alright, so we have everything installed now. We have the intake on there. Got that tightened down. I got down there on the turbo, I got that tightened down. I have my gray tube hooked up to the stock one right here, and the extender going out right through here, connecting into the old harness. I'm gonna go ahead and get that all zip tied up, looking nice and neat, and then it is on to trimming the cowl. Okay guys, so this is the template I printed off online, and it lines up just like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a razor blade and a blowtorch. I'm gonna heat up the knife, and I'm going to trace this out. So everything's put back together, as you can see. I have that cut out. That's the new intake. I know it looks a little sloppy right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get some black vinyl. I'm just gonna make a little strip around here, and then underneath here, you can see there's a pretty big hole right here. I had to cut that out. So I'm gonna get some more vinyl too, and I'm just gonna put a little vinyl strip right around here, just to seal off the engine bay from water and stuff. And then, yep, same around over here. And then maybe put some 3M adhesive tape on this part right here, just so it can stick a little better. It's not gonna fall off. And then now we just gotta move on to the sound suppressor. If you guys seen my blow off video, it's pretty much right by that. So what we're gonna do is take off this passenger wheel, and then it'll give us access to where we're gonna install the sound suppressor. So that blue thing right there, that's the blow off valve, and right above that, that circle, that is where we're gonna put the sound suppressor. So there's a little ring right around that we gotta take off first. Then that silver cap will come right off. And then in place of that, we're gonna put our sound suppressor. I don't believe I'll be able to film while I'm trying to do this because it's kind of tight in there, but I will see you guys when I get it installed. All right, so it's the next day. I went to the store, I bought some snap ring pliers for that sound suppression chamber. So I'm gonna see if I can mess with that a little bit. I was watching some videos on it last night and it's a little harder than I thought it was gonna be. So, I mean, we're gonna give it a go still, but I finished up. I went to the store and bought some stuff for the new intake. I am probably gonna redo it. I might buy a new cowl and try to get it a little bit cleaner, because at least I know what I'm doing this time. But I went ahead and got some tubing on this. It doesn't look too bad from the top of it, but I am still gonna make it a little bit cleaner eventually. But I'm gonna start installing that sound suppression chamber. All right, so an update for you guys. I went to the store and bought these snap pliers. They were too long, so I cut them in half. I've been working on this so far for about a half hour, and it sucks. I don't even know. There's like no room to get back there, so I'm gonna try and. I took the tube off the blow off valve, try to give me some more room in there to fit some 90-degree tips on there, but that was still no use. So now I put the 45s back on, and I'm just gonna keep messing with it, and hopefully I can get a hold of it. It's been about an hour now. I finally got the snap ring out. That was awful. That was super painful. I don't know, I just kind of did a whole bunch of finagling. My snap ring tool, like I said, I cut it in half, and then I pretty much used, I don't know, that made like a 30-degree angle on it. I kind of went on it straight on and just pushed and pulled, and it popped out. So this is the sound suppression chamber. This is made by Cobb. I know Mono 2 make one too. It's pretty much the same deal. All it does is just go in place of that little piece of metal, wherever that went, right here. It goes in place of this. You can see it has the O-ring on it. I greased it up. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in there, and then get the snap ring, slide it over, and get the snap ring back in place. All right, guys, so after an hour, I finally got it in, and that little clip was a nightmare, but hopefully that solves the howling issue. I'll give you guys a start up and see if you can hear the howl. So what you guys heard was the intake that was sucking in a whole bunch of air. The howling is probably about, I would say, 75% gone. So the most part of it is completely gone, which is a ton better than it was before. I knew I wasn't expecting, 100% of it to be gone, but I'll take what I can get. That's a win in my books. All right, so I'll give you guys a test drive of what this new cowl intake sounds like, paired up with the sound suppression chamber. So that's all I have today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. The intake is super loud. I'm not sure if the video did it justice, but some of you that don't really like super loud car noises, probably stay away from this one. But if you want a race car or whatever, I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can pick it up for yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.